morning everybody, my name's Helen Garrett. I'm speaking to you from my kitchen in the United Kingdom. I'm an online entrepreneur and I've been successfully running my own business for the last 4.5 years. Now, I'm really excited today because I'd like to speak to you today about one of the most neglected areas in terms of building a brand new business. So I'm speaking primarily to people who are getting started in business for the first time. You're probably in a multi-level marketing or a network marketing opportunity, or you might be doing something completely different, but you're starting a business for the first time. And possibly you've been in business for a while and things aren't going quite the way you would like them to, in which case maybe I can help you here as well. Now, I think probably one of the biggest surprises that people have when they start their own business is that they are actually going to have to do a great deal of working on themselves, personal development, learning how to strengthen and toughen your mind. Because working for yourself is a whole different ballgame to working for somebody else. Okay? When you're employed by somebody else sets the agenda, sets the rules, sets the salary, all the rest of it. When you're working for yourself, you are in control. So there is nobody beating the stick behind you. You are responsible for your success and your profits. And because of that, you need to have a completely different approach. And that means making some significant changes in many cases to your attitude and the way that you approach things. Okay? I think when people start a business, we get terribly excited because now we're taking control of our own future, and that's just amazing. And we're ready to learn the basics of how to do our business. So we're ready to learn how to do the advertising, how to do the selling, how to do the accounts, whatever it is. Most people expect a really steep learning curve, and they go into that with their eyes wide open and they expect to have to do that learning process. But I think what surprises so many people is that they also have to work on themselves. And that's the bit that many people really didn't sign up to in advance. It isn't until they've invested the money, got the infrastructure in place and started to do the business, and they suddenly begin to realise that, gosh, this is tough. You have to be resilient when you're in business. You have to be disciplined. You have to be consistent in your activities if you want to drive a serious profit in the long term. And these are attributes, they're elements that maybe are not natural, don't come naturally to humans. Yeah? We're so used to having that kind of thing done for us. Decisions are made for us. Now we're in control, we've got to make them for ourselves. And that's really tough. So how do you go about improving your mind? Well, it's pretty obvious really, isn't it? You teach yourself, primarily by reading books, attending seminars, listening to tapes and CDs and that sort of thing. And generally speaking, the way in which we slowly but surely alter our thought processes and our attitudes is by drip feeding them the good stuff, the positive stuff. And what I've got here is a selection of books which I read over the first 6 months that I was in business. There are some absolutely fabulous books in here, and I'm sure you will recognise many of them. There are books that talk about the industry that I'm in. There are books that teach me how to do my business. There are books that teach me how to plan it out, do my goal setting and process maps and plans and that sort of thing. There are books by famous people who just talk about how they implemented their positive attitude to improve their own lives. So you can take inspiration from these people. And there are books on the universal law, understanding the universal law, knowing that you have to learn to work within it, and actually taking comfort from that fact that the universal law never changes. So provided you continue to be consistent and to work within that law, you really cannot fail. Okay, so I guess the most important thing though is that reading books and listening to tapes and going to seminars is all well and good, but you do have to be prepared to implement what you learn. Okay, this is all about building, slowly but surely building a positive, strong mental attitude so that you can take the emotion out of your business. Yeah? Successful business is not run on emotion. So you need to learn to be calm. You need to learn to be able to deal with the tough days and to celebrate the good days but keep going, don't stop. Yeah? Okay, finally, so as I say, implement it. You know, for every book that you read, you're not going to be able to do it all, but there are nuggets of pure gold in everything that you listen to, everything that you attend, everything that you read, and you just need to pick on something that touches you in some way, that makes sense to you, and then go out there and practice. And it's practice, practice, practice that will build that discipline, that will help to strengthen your mind, make you feel less emotional with the highs and the lows of your business, and enable you to keep totally focused on the process, totally focused on the goal, so that you can actually build a business that is going to develop and give you what you want. So bear this in mind, 97% of people who start their own home business fail in the first year, and it is primarily because the mental attitude is wrong. It needs to be learned, it needs to be changed, it needs to be improved, and you need to be ready to embrace that and follow that journey. And I tell you now, successful entrepreneurs are constantly growing, developing, learning and improving their minds. It's a journey that will end with the grave. So be prepared for it, and if you can step up to that, 15 minutes a day, it's nothing. It's a little bit of bedtime reading, but believe me, it will sink in and you will grow and improve as a person, and you will see that reflected in your business profits. I hope you found that useful, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.